Fear of falling leads people to mental diseases such as acrophobia, vertigo, and aerophobia. Phobia is an extreme or irrational fear of something. Is the natural fear of heights something conquerable for higher desire? If it is, we could classify people on Earth under two sorts: people who hide from the fear, or people who face the fear. In history, strong desire for defying gravity like a flying bird always was executed by people who dare to challenge their insecurity. People jumped from the tower, ran from the hill, threw their body in the air. If they failed to fly, what was waiting for them was nothing but death. What had drawn them to bet their lives?
It was a strong desire for absolute freedom from everything dragging them down to the earth. Desperation, reality, or boundaries. And it was something worthy enough to even give up all of their security, solidity, and ground. Is architecture able to cope with this human behavior of reckless desire? Has any skyscraper even genuinely conquered the air? Has any building ever confronted the fear, not hide it from vulnerability or strong desire of human existence?
Weight is a force caused by gravity. Mass is consistent and weight is relative to gravity. Imagine you're standing on a floating platform on water. If the surface that you're standing on would interact depends on your weight, the force dragging you down, and whether you float or sink. Similarly, if your house floats, the weight of your room does become serious matter of life or death. How much do you weigh? How much does your room weigh? How much do your belongings weigh? What needs to be kept and what doesn't?
What is essential for your life? This is how your house would float in the air. First, by supermaterial. Quantum locking is the phenomenon where a superconductor is pinned in space when cooled below a critical temperature, roughly below -180 Celsius. Superinsulator, aerogel, blocks extreme temperature. Second, by popularization of drone and personal flight. Third, by compactness of device and internet. This paradoxical reciprocal action between substantial and virtual is now natural to us. Logic of more with less, broader with smaller, and deeper with lighter turned into reality. My very essential life would weigh 95 kilos.
We're living in the age of information. What values the most is no more gold, yet it is notion, information, or idea, which is weightless. The value system has transformed our lives also to be weightless, quick and compact. Penthouse mansion flat at the top of the Shard, 735 feet above ground level, cost £50 million. Of course, they also pay that amount of money for the most luxurious house setting, but fundamentally, they look for somewhere with complete isolation from all noises, violation, and disturbance from the ground. They are willing to, against natural-born fear, to reach the level of privacy. The fear can be cast in front of desire. Public requires generous space and physical hospitality to be embraceable. It prefers to get attentions, draw more people, and be filled up with vividness. It is rather changeable than consistent, open than enclosed, shared than private, loud than peaceful, abundant than essential. Therefore, the basic principle for what to be kept and what to be left behind is to decide what is essential and what is additional for your living. Here is a table of examples.
The first site for LEW would be Welwyn Garden City, a town located 31 km from King's Cross. Other possible sites would be commuter towns within 40-kilometer radius from London. This is how it stands. There are main structural supports laid out as hexagonal grid of supermagnetic infrastructure erected on the ground. On top of each node of grid, living units are floating. Every disk needs to be cooled endlessly, with circulation of radiant liquid nitrogen to be locked within magnetic force. There are 3 chunks of air zone based on levels of privacy: lower air, middle air, and upper air. The heavier living gets, the lower it would sink down.
On each node of the hexagon grid, a maximum of 3 living units levitate above it. Diameter for a magnet is 3 meters, and for standard living disks start from 4 meters, which gives the most ideal stability for living space above it. However, the size of the disk varies as preference of occupants, and they can take risk if they want to live in larger space. But they would better be good at balancing, since the larger the disk is, the shakier it would be. This is how we live, essentially. In the beginning, the disk would be locked at highest height of assigned zone. As you add up your life, it would keep moving down. Residents can fill up with heavy furniture if they want cozier interior, or they can use inflatable furniture to minimize weight to preoccupy level of privacy. You might see mountains of belongings on the ground every Saturday. Living units will be fluctuating vertically on the grid of the magnet.
Especially for shops, proximity to living units is an important factor to maintain. Lifestyle is weaved by area transportation. All residents, from younger to older, must learn how to fly with personal flight. You will be off the ground gracefully. You will embrace your deepest fear as your closest partner. Only by that, you can be free from forces, restraints, and bindings pulling you down to the earth. You will still interact with the rest. You will be supplied from those. You will experience and be inspired by that, yet you will be solid when you're in the air. You are secure not by your heaviness, but by weightlessness, by living essential weightlessly.